Hello, welcome back to another Pick a Card Tarot reading from Junodrome Intuitive Arts. My name is JP, and this reading is going to be, what does the universe need you to know right now? What are the important messages coming to you? What information are you missing that you need? What's going on in your life? So, take a look at these cards here. There are 3 different piles for you to choose from. This is all art that I've made myself, independent artwork. So yeah, I think I'm kind of starting a little bit of an oracle deck because each one of these has a channeled message, and I've done this a bunch now, so I'm gonna keep going, and who knows, maybe in a few months I'll have an oracle deck. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, take a look at these piles. In a moment, I'm gonna let you choose. In the description section of this video, you will see a link to your reading. But before we start, I just want to thank all of my returning subscribers and viewers. Thank you for tuning in and always being loyal to this channel. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And a huge welcome to all of our new subscribers. I'm blown away by how well people are receiving the new shorts content that I've been making. So I've been putting a lot of videos every day up on the shorts page, and a lot of people have been watching them, which is great. And the channel has gained about 30 subscribers in the last 10 days, which is amazing because we've been slowly losing subscribers for a long time now, which is fine. I mean, I haven't been as active on this channel as I would like to be. So now that I'm being more active and I'm here more, I'm really excited to be here. So if you ever have any ideas for the channel or anything that you want, please do let me know. I love giving these pick a card tarot readings. They don't seem to be as popular as they used to be, which is unfortunate, but I'm hoping that the more that I do, the more we'll get people back. Eventually I'm going to be doing another yes or no video. Those have always been my most popular videos, so I will do those again because I think that people really enjoy them. But I have also started doing a weekly collective reading just to gain a sense of what's going on in the week and what people can expect. I started the first one of those on Monday. There'll be more of those coming as well. So yes, other than that, that's it for me. Now, without further ado, I'm going to give you some time. Take a look at these piles. We got pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and choose the one that is jumping out to you now. Hi friends, my name is JP and this is Junodrome Tarot. Welcome back. Actually, Junodrome Intuitive Arts. I've changed the name. I've used this name before, but I think it's better for me. Anyway, so like I said in the intro, we are going to be doing a reading on what you need to know. This is just a general message, so let's see. We're going to start with this cool art. So take a look at this art first. Take a moment to look at this. What do you see here? What is jumping out at you? Is there anything in this artwork that makes you think, right? If you see anything in this, any image, any idea, any words, any concept, that is important to you. So keep that message in mind. Anyway, let's read the channeled message from the back. There is always going to be something in life to make you question whether or not you are on the right path. In reality, life is an open map. It's not a one-way street. Think about GPS. The system might be giving you one path to a destination, but if you take a turn against it, the route will meet you and change with you. Don't ask yourself if this is right or wrong. Ask yourself if this is something you need or not need. Sometimes we need challenge and sometimes we need ease. What is it that you need? How can you move in the direction of your needs? Okay, pretty straightforward. So what is it that you need, right? I think reframing the idea about, whether we're supposed to be doing this or we're supposed to be doing that. Is this how life is supposed to be, right? Those supposed tos, I run into this all the time with myself. And I think that it's a big challenge is like, really coming to an understanding on like, there are no supposed tos here in life. Like you can do whatever you want. And like, some things are going to be harder than others, right? Sometimes taking one turn towards something, might be really self-destructive, right? And if you don't want to self-destruct, don't do that, right? And then another turn, like, might be really, helpful for you. And maybe you want to experience something helpful. But at the end of the day, like, it's your life, it's your discretion, it's your time, it's your life, it's your being. And you have the driver's seat here, right? You have the driver's seat. So don't feel like you're supposed to do or be or feel anything. Instead, meet yourself where you are. Be present with who and what and where you are now. And from there, you have the ability to find peace with yourself, right? Because, if you are fighting against yourself here, you're only going to continue that energy, right? That the more that you fight yourself, the more that you perpetuate that feeling of fight within, right? As opposed to meeting yourself where you are and figuring out what your needs are now here, as opposed to what you want in the future, or where you've been in the past, you have the ability to create a far more, pleasant life experience, right? All right, let's take a look at the tarot. I'm going to check these off camera because nudity is a thing. All right. Let's see. We've got the 9 of Wands. Yeah, I really do feel that. You've got the Magician. Let's come down a little bit with these. You've got the Temperance card. Yeah. And you've got the 6 of Wands. This is great. This is really wonderful, actually. It all makes a lot of sense here. So actually, we're going to switch these around. And maybe these two go together. So, this is really interesting reading. It's really great, actually. I love this for you. So the idea here is that you are the battle-hardened soldier here with the 9 of Wands. And I feel that a lot with this, especially with that channeled message. I think you've been through it in life, right? Life has given you challenge. And I think we all have to go through different challenges in life. It's just a part of being human. Like just learning how to exist here with a body embodied as a person is really, really hard. And not to mention that we live in such a challenging world. I mean, we do. To think otherwise is not true. For everybody, it's a challenge. Even if you have the means, you still don't have the means in other department, right? Like, it's hard. It's hard being a person. And so I think that has left you a bit weary, right? That you are this battle-hardened soldier with the 9 of Wands. And so you've been through it, and, that is coloring your perception. That is coloring your color of the world is all based on challenge. And, there's real importance and truth in the wisdom that you've gained from your past situations. And so definitely don't discount it or pretend like those things never happened, right? Because they did. And suffering is a real thing in this world. Suffering is true, is real. It's a part of existing. It's a part of this existence. And we can't really get rid of it, right? We can't pretend like it's not there. It's a part of us. It's a part of life. And so we need to accept that, first of all, and then move on from a place from there, right? So I think here with the Temperance card, it's the Temperance card, I like to think of it like making lemonade out of lemons, right? Life is handing you a challenge. It's up to you, and with your perspective and with your mind and with your being and with all of your heart, right? It's up to you to take that or leave it, to change it or continue it, to move through it or to hold on to it. It's up to you. You can transform that. But with the magician here, you have the power and the control and the ability to transform that. So if you feel that you need to transform it, if you want to open your heart to this magical, mystical transformation energy, it's here for you. It's ready to come into your life. And so if you are ready to transform and not ask yourself the supposed to's, is this where I'm supposed to be? Am I on the right path? Did I fail? Have I fallen off? Am I incomplete? Has this not worked out? Is this not here? Is it not, you know? Instead of falling into that, you can start to ask yourself, okay, here I am. Where am I? Where am I? Ask yourself that. Where am I? You know, where are you now? And meet yourself where you are now. If you are at the point in life where you can't leave bed, meet yourself there. Don't harangue yourself for not being able to get out of bed, right? Celebrate the small little thing you can do. All right, I got out of bed and I cooked myself a meal. That's amazing. And yeah, maybe the dishes are daunting, but you know what? You did something, so that's something, right? So like, celebrate the small things, because it's the accumulation of those small things over and over and over and over again that creates the transformation that you're seeking, right? You cannot get from step 1 to step 12 in one jump. You got to take 12 steps, right? That's how steps work. That's just how it works. So, meet yourself where you are in this. It's okay to be wherever you are. Wherever you are is okay, right? Even if it's not a good place, that's okay too, because from there you can move anywhere, right? So if you embrace this idea and this philosophy for yourself, I see true victory, right? This is the victory card. This is true happiness, transformation, peace, success, internal success, feeling satisfied, satisfaction. You have that open and available to you in this reading. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely true for you. It's an ability. It's something that you have here open to you. So be open to understanding that you have the ability to move in any direction you need. And that those directions, the universe will come to meet you in whichever direction you choose. And if you end up, walking in a direction where you feel as though it's the wrong direction, right? Like I said, there's no right or wrongs here. So it could even be, a direction that you're just not feeling good about. You have the power to move in a different direction from there. So don't worry about taking the wrong step, because any step that you take is momentum. And, if it's a momentum in a direction you don't want to go, you can move your momentum somewhere else. That's a part of how this works. So you are in the driver's seat here. You can move in any direction. Any direction is right. There doesn't need to be a value judgment on it. It just is. And so, you can move however you need to for yourself, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. And you don't have to feel guilty about not being good enough or being strong enough or being right enough or being in the right place. It's so easy to self-flagellate, right? It's so easy to do that. We do it all the time. I do it all the time. And it's like, that's not helping you. That's not helping you, right? All right, let's look at your oracles. So first we got from the Angel Oracle, we got meditation. Interesting. So meditate was in that channeled message too. So there is something about meditation that might help you, right? Going within is a really helpful tool to get a better understanding of self, right? So going within and understanding what your inner world is looking like is going to help you shape your outer world. Our inner world and our outer worlds reflect one another. They truly do. So if you are inside in a place of anxiety and worry and over-analysis and all this stuff over and over and over again inside, your external world is going to reflect that. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to show through, because our external world is a series of choices and decisions that we have made over time. That is our external world. The cumulative collective version of that is what's happening all around us. Everybody taking steps all the time. But your own personal world, your own personal life is a reflection of your own choices and understandings. And of course, we are given situations that we cannot control as well. And that is true. But you do have control over how to react to those situations. And so your reactions and your decisions based on your reactions are based on your internal environment. And so meditation may truly be helpful for you. Coming to some kind of internal practice. It doesn't have to be all the time. It doesn't have to be regular, although regular meditation is helpful. It's just taking the time in a quiet space to come back to yourself. No phones, no stuff. It could be listening to music and drawing. That's a big part of my own personal meditation practice, just comes from doing this artwork, right? That's why I'm trying to incorporate it more into my spiritual work, is because it is a part of my own meditation, and it is a part of my own coming back to center to do this kind of artwork. So maybe it's that for you, right? But some kind of practice where you're quiet and your internal world is quiet, and so you can start to hear the things within you that need to be expressed and need to come up and need to bubble through. There's a situation here where that is called for. Final Oracle card comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. Highly recommend that deck, by the way. It is probably one of the greatest tools for my own personal transformation that I had. Like, that deck is incredible. But with the perception card, I do think that's a big part of this, right? Is that your perception here is what needs to shift, and that's what the Temperance and the Magician can really help you with. This magical energy of changing the way that you view your life, changing the way that you view situations, maybe even changing the way that you view the universe itself. In the spiritual community, we can get really bogged down by this idea that I have a path and I have a purpose that must be set in stone, and my purpose must be expressed. And if I am not expressing my purpose, then I am failing, right? Like, that whole mentality is really kind of setting us all up for failure, because we are multidimensional dynamic beings, right? We have many purposes in life, and sometimes that purpose is to do nothing, right? That nothingness is also sometimes important and a purpose in life. And so, that kind of mentality mixed with spiritual materialism that we're all facing, where it's like, not only do I have a purpose, but now my purpose must make me money. And if I am not making money based on my purpose, I am failing in life. That's something I come across myself internally all the time. So, I'm not saying thou shalt, right? I'm saying I also do this, right? So it's like, you're not alone here. But like, that's kind of the whole thing though, right? Like, in our capitalist society, we tie everything to how money is coming in. And then, with spirituality, like, that's kind of can be a toxic combination when you put them together that way. So, be gentle with yourself. Meet yourself where you are, right? Wherever you are, it's the right place to be. You are in the right place right here, right now, wherever that is. Even if you are at the lowest point you have ever been in your life, I will tell you for myself, when I hit my own personal rock bottom, that was one of the most important places I have ever been. And I am deeply, deeply thankful that I was in that place, right? Because without that, I would have never had the kind of spiritual connection that I have now. Like, it just would have never happened that way. And like, I gained so much personal wisdom about my life from being at my lowest. So not to say that we should be at our lowest, right? It's like, that's the other thing too. Like I was saying with the suffering stuff, like, we don't have to put a value judgment on it. We don't have to say it's good. We don't have to say it's bad, right? It just is. I'm just saying, for my own personal transformation, like, even my lowest moments were important for me, in the way that I view my life personally, not as a moral value judgment of what is and is not right from a holier than thou perspective, correct? So, I do think that this transformation in how you view your situation and accepting that even if you are not in a place you want to be, that is in itself the right place to be, that will help you. It'll help you alleviate internal pain for sure, right? There's no sense in haranguing ourselves when we're down, right? That's not nice. We don't do that to other people unless we're jerks. So don't be a jerk to yourself, right? Right? Wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay. That's a part of being alive, even if it's not great. And if it is great, then great. Good for you. That's awesome, right? If you're in a good place, celebrate yourself. Celebrate being in a good place with that victory card. And if you move from a bad place to a good place, celebrate that journey, right? The journey is amazing too. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, pile number 1. That was my reading for you. I feel good about that reading. I hope you do too. That was really good. Let me know in the comments what you think. I love hearing from everybody. Huge thanks first to my loyal followers, my group of people who have been with me when I have been absent. I appreciate you. I really do. I know it's been a long time since I've posted regularly like this, and so that's my own personal journey. It's hard. With the job stuff I've been doing and like my personal life and everything that I've been doing. It's been hard for me to do this regularly, but I'm building this back into my life because I'm about to move back to the US. Not really about. In about 6 months, I'm going to be moving back to America, and I want this to be a big part of my life. I miss it. I miss it a lot. And the channel has been something that has helped me so tremendously. And so to be able to give back to other people as well, it just feels really good. So thank you to the loyal viewers for that. And then huge welcome and thanks to all of the new subscribers. I don't know if you know this, but we just gained 30 subscribers on the Junodrome channel in like 2 weeks. Not even, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I gained 30 subscribers. I mean, that's incredible. I don't know if you know this, but we've been slowly losing subscribers over the last 2 years. And I think we went down 30 subscribers. So we just gained everybody back in a week. Like, that's great. Welcome. If there's ever any ideas, anything you want specifically, as you've noticed, I'm experimenting more with formats. I'm definitely going to keep up the pick-a cards because I love them myself. I think they're the most helpful for me when I'm looking for a tarot reading, but I'm open to doing other things too. I've got my 7-day collective reading starting as well, so I can do more long-form content more often. If there's ever any other kind of thing that you're looking for, let me know. I've seen that like horoscope readings are really popular. You've probably noticed if you're a longtime viewer that I've been trying to do horoscope readings multiple times over the course of operating this channel, and they have never worked out for me. So I got to figure out a new way to do that if I'm going to do them. But if you want a horoscope reading, let me know if that's something that is interested to you. I can do that too. Anyway, that's it for me. Catch you later. Let me know what you think. Give us a like, give it a comment. It helps boost the channel. I don't know why the pick-a card readings and long-form content aren't doing so well. I think it might have something to do with the way the YouTube algorithm is promoting shorts over anything else. So don't worry, if you're a shorts fan, I'm keeping that up. That is helping me out. But I want the long-form content to do well too, because this is where I can get really in-depth about things. And I think that's really important for spiritual growth and development, to be able to share really in-depth information with you. So that's it for me. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hi friends, welcome back to another Pick a Card Tarot reading. My name is JP and this is Junodrome Intuitive Arts. I'm going back to my old name. So, welcome to everybody who's returning. Great. You know what this is. Anyway, pile number 2. This is your reading for messages from the universe. What does the universe need you to know? So the very first thing that I want you to do is take a look at this card that you chose. Take a look at the artwork that is here. See what is pointing out to you. Do you see any images in this picture? Do you see any anything? Think of it like a Rorschach test. Is there anything going on in this image that is jumping out at you, that seems important, that is connecting to you. Whatever it is that you see in this, there's an extra important message in that. So if you see something in particular, I'll get into what I see in a minute, but if you see anything in particular, please point it out. The biggest thing I see is obviously here. It looks a lot like a question mark. That wasn't exactly my intention when I was drawing. I try to have no intentions when I do these. I just let them grow organically. So the channeled message is actually kind of similar to that as well. So let's get into the channeled message first, and then we will continue to dive into the details of this reading. So first of all, this says, why? This is the question of the hour, and what is being asked of you to meditate on. Why? Something in your life is going unquestioned that shouldn't be. What do you see as inevitable that isn't? Where is your thinking blocked by an invisible brick wall? Oh, I can't do that, you tell yourself. Why? Why not? Why can't you? Why are you thinking that? Meet these walls not with shame or anger. Meet them with loving kindness and curiosity. Why am I thinking that? Why can't I do that? Open your mind and your heart with the flow of curiosity. Come back to the childlike wonder within you. Why is this like this? Why are things the way they are? Why? So, why is the question of the hour for you, the thing to meditate on? And it's talking a lot about this curiosity energy. So in life, it's really, really easy, the older that we get, to start to block our understanding and ideas of possibilities because of life experience, right? We go through setbacks and situations and things that cause us to think about what is and isn't possible, right? We limit ourselves and our imaginations based on situations we've been through, right? And a lot of times it comes from, the evolutionary need to not die, right? Trying not to get hurt again. If you get hurt, we have evolved to protect ourselves in those kinds of situations and stop ourselves from getting those kinds of impacts in the future, right? That's how humans work evolutionarily. However, those systems that we evolved are designed for the jungle, right? Or, the savanna, the plain, or wherever we evolved as human beings in Africa. That's what those mechanisms, they exist to survive in those environments. They don't exist to deal with the existential bizarrities of being a human being in the 21st century. Our evolutionary systems don't take into account those types of things. And so we have these tools that are designed to help us stay alive against a tiger. We're using those to choose jobs, to figure out where we're going to live in life, to figure out what we're going to eat for breakfast tomorrow, things like that. And so it's so easy to allow the limitations that exist within our subconscious mind that exist simply to protect ourselves and to keep us alive. Those systems are existing, if they exist unquestioned, without asking why, you run into the problem of falling into maybe a system that is familiar rather than a system that's good for you, right? That the familiar is prioritized by the subconscious simply because it is a defense mechanism that exists within us to stay alive. And instead of making choices from what might actually bring you true happiness and joy, there's a fear energy, even if it's just subconscious fear, blocking you from being able to do that and keeping you stuck in a day-to-day that may not actually reflect what you want from life and from yourself. And so this reading is really coming in to ask you to check back in with that curiosity energy of being a child. It really can open a lot of doors if instead of just thinking that there's an inevitable future for you, you know, especially if you have some kind of like, well, I'm going to do this by this age, and then I have to do this, and then this is my plan for here, right? If you have that kind of like dogmatic, unquestioned planning for yourself, that may end up limiting you to the point where if you can't meet those expectations, you might be really hard on yourself, and then that might even cause you even further to give up even more on yourself and your abilities instead of tuning into who you really are, what you really want, and allowing yourself to flow from those places, right? Wow, a lot coming out without even looking at the cards. So let's take a look at some cards here and try to get a better picture of what it is we're looking at. Meeting your life with curiosity, asking yourself why. Why is this happening? Why can't I do this thing? Why am I not in the places that I want? Let's keep looking. So let me just check off camera, make sure I can show it all, because, you know, we all know these tarot cards don't always allow that. All right, so we got the Page of Wands. We've got the Ace of Cups. A lot of new energy coming in here. This is great. This asking yourself why might open up some new doors for you. We have the Queen of Wands. The Emperor. Wow, power cards coming out here. Yep. The Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Yes. Okay, so this is great. We'll look at the oracles after. So what is happening here is, I think here, this comes here, this comes here, these two come here, and these are actually, okay, we got a triple vignette here. These two are the future, spurning from these. Actually, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so interesting energy here. I think that, like, I think you have been through difficult situations in the past. There's no question. And you might even be in one now, right? You might be in a dark night of the soul moment for you. That's kind of what the Five of Pentacles represents. It represents this idea that you hit a rock bottom, or you hit a low point in life where, you know, where you're poor and cold alone in the snow, right? That's what that card shows. And it is that. It's like, you know, falling off of the abyss, right? When you end up at the bottom of the hole. That's not a fun place to be, right? And if you are feeling, and this might not be happening right now, this could have happened in the past, or it could be happening right now for you. It just depends on where you're at in life and what's going on. But regardless, sometimes what's interesting about being in the, you know, rock bottom, right? Once you reach rock bottom, a couple things. One, there's no going further down, right? And, you know, we can never really know for sure whether there's no ever going further down, but a lot of times you really know, right? There's a certain point that you can hit in life. I don't know if you've been there. I know I have 100% been in this place, so that's just the only way I can speak of it is just from personal experience. But sometimes there's a place you can hit in life where you hit so low and you hit so, like, things seem so bleak and desperate and done, that you kind of like make a deal with yourself, like, hey, this is it here, you know, like, I'm either gonna change and not be in this place anymore, or it's it, you know, that's it. And like, sometimes people don't make it past that moment, right? I know I have some friends who are no longer with us who did not make it past those moments, right? And he and I were in a kind of a similar place at a similar time, and I decided I didn't want to be in those lows anymore, and I got out of it, and he went lower, and, you know, there's only so much lower you can go before it's over, right? And so, like, just speaking from personal experience in that kind of situation, like, you can hit a point where you don't want to do it anymore, right? And sometimes though that place can open up a much larger understanding of things, and that's part of this process of not wanting to go any lower, but also like connecting to some inner connectivity, right? It could be as a higher power feeling, or connecting to spirituality, or connecting to something larger than yourself, right? Even just an eye-opening awakening that, hey, me and my own thing here is not all that's going on. Because sometimes too, when we hit those lows, it's so easy to get lost in your own stuff that you start to forget, more and more. The lower and lower that you fall sometimes, you get a more and more and more of a pinhole perspective, where you no longer have the ability to see anything beyond yourself, right? And so this can be an eye-opening moment where you start to see the rest of the world again as well, where you realize, like, hey, yes, I am going through what I'm going through, and that's not great, but the world is still spinning here. The things are still turning. And like, that's a wonderful thing about this curiosity energy coming in with the question mark that is so helpful and wonderful and so powerful, is the idea that the curiosity can actually help you get out of this place too. And that's a part of where this coming into a larger perspective can really be helpful. And this is simply being curious with yourself and being curious with life, and say, okay, well, why do I feel so limited? Why do I feel so stuck? Why do I feel like this is happening? And what can I do to move out of this? And what can I do to connect to the world again? And what's going to connect me to not feeling as lost? And, who can I meet? And what can I do? And where can I go? And what can I become that can help me move away from this? And, why is the world like this? And why am I in this place? And why does the world look this way? And, those kind of childlike questions, instead of saying, oh, the world is this because, and I am never going to leave this because, and I can't get out of here because, and I'm not worth it because, and I'm not worthy because, and I need this substance because, and I need that money because, and I need that thing because, and I need to go to this place because, right? All these like have to, should, supposed to's. Well, that's not for me. All those brick wall mental traps. Those are self-limiting mind behaviors, right? Those are not objective truths. Those are self-limiting beliefs. Those are stuck thought processes. Those are things that are, those aren't truths. Those are things you're telling yourself. And the curiosity energy, meeting those supposed truths with a curious mindset, an open mindset, a loving kindness mindset, like that card said, that's what gets you moving out of that energy and moving into something different. And, life is ups and downs, right? There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. And, there's no saying that you won't hit a low again if you move out of the lowest energy, right? But if you develop the tools that the curiosity mindset can give you, then there's no situation that you can be met with that can't be met with those tools. And that makes it easier to go through the low points. Like I said, it's not that the low points will stop happening, because life is ups and life is downs. Suffering exists. It is a part of this reality, and you will face it. You will face it. But if you meet it and you meet life with this open curiosity, open heart, open mind, then it becomes easier to face those situations. It just does. And it dissipates the severity of some of this stuff by meeting it with that curiosity and, having almost a joking mindset with life instead of a serious one, a super serious one, right? There are moments where we need to be serious, of course. But, there are moments that are meant to be joyful, and there are times that we need to laugh. And being open to humor is important, and being open to levity is important, especially if you're in a big, deep, heavy hole like the Five of Pentacles talks about, right? or or you were, right? Like I said, this doesn't mean that you're here now. You could have been here in the past, just like me, right? It's just saying that those are some of the places that we can go, and those are some of the places that can get us locked into those mindsets where we start to think that nothing is possible. And so, the way that you can get out of that, right, is meeting your life with the curiosity and open-mindedness and open-heartedness that is possible here. Now, let's take a look at what happens if you meet your life with that perspective, right? Oh, well, first of all, let's look at the Knight of Swords here. So the Knight of Swords, it talks about changes or a movement, right? The Knights are all about movements. And so the movement of the energy in this reading is a movement in the mind space, right? The swords are the mind, the mental energy. And I do really, really, really think that this reading is all about changing your mind, changing the way that you think. And so if you allow yourself to do that, right, to question why you are so steadfast and certain. Why are you so certain that things are bad for you, right? Why are you so certain that things are not going to work, right? Why are you so certain that things can't work for you, right? Why do you have that mindset? Because that is where it needs to be met with the curiosity, because that is a subconscious self-limiting belief. And that's not true. That's not a hard truth. You are just as capable as any other human being on this planet. And, because someone else is in a different place, that in itself could be meaning that you yourself could be in that place, right? If you allow yourself to think in that perspective. And so asking yourself why you can't do something, instead of saying, I can't do that, or better yet, right? I think the important thing is using this as a tool to allow yourself to get out of that mindset. It's not just a magic, I'm going to think different now, and now I think different, right? That's not how this works. That's not how the human being works, right? That's not how we work. You can't change a mental landscape that you might have overnight. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to change the way I think, and now I think differently, and I'm magically fixed, right? That's not possible. But what you can do is start to practice mindfulness here. And this basically what I'm explaining is practicing mindfulness. This curiosity energy can be mindful. Pay attention to your thinking. Pay attention to your thinking, and when you notice, right, and it's a process. This is a process. This is a practice. This isn't something that happens overnight. So don't be mean to yourself if you don't get this immediately, right? This is a practice. It's something that you have to practice, right? Nobody is a piano virtuoso at birth. Even Mozart, right? Even if he was playing piano at 2. Somebody taught him how to play the piano at 2, right? So, there's no instantaneous change here. But if you start to practice this energy of being mindful of your thoughts and starting to notice when you are thinking these self-limiting beliefs, the magic tool here, and it's not magic, but the tool here is this curiosity energy. Anytime you notice, and if you don't always notice, that's okay at first, right? But anytime you do notice, you have one of these beliefs. Anytime you notice yourself saying, I can't, right? If you notice yourself saying, I can't, meet that I can't with a why, right? I can't do that. Why? Why can't you do that? Why? Why not? Why can't you? Right? Meet that I can't with a why. So if you allow yourself to do that, right? You meet that I can't do this with a why can't I do this? Then you have the ability to break this up. And I think that that's what we see here, right? We see a new beginning, and the page of Wands is a student, right? And it's a student towards inspirations, this inspired energy, right? And usually, a lot of times I interpret that as creativity, but it's passion in general. And I think that in this particular reading, it's representing a renewed passion in life itself, right? This place of being at the dark night of the soul, it can represent a feeling of loss of the magic of life itself, right? It can be the nihilistic sensibility that is permeating our culture and our world currently, right? This nihilistic sensibility is everywhere. It's all around us. It's death, right? It is in itself a kind of death of culture, of society, right? It can feel that way, right? Because it's not only is this idea with the nihilistic stuff is hard. It's like, it's not only is it the idea that things aren't right, it's that nothing will ever be right again, right? And nothing ever meant, anything that was ever right doesn't even matter, right? It's so dark, which is fine. That's a part of life too, right? But it's just like, it's so stupid in my opinion. So this is like a becoming a student of inspiration again, right? This of even knowing how to be inspired, right? Being a student in your own inspiration through the curiosity of a childhood perspective of curiosity. Kids are open. They're questioning. They want to know. They're open to knowing what exists, what's possible, what life even is, right? They're open to that. And so there's a sense here in this reading of you embracing, becoming a student of curiosity again, and allowing yourself to change your feelings, allowing yourself to feel joy, maybe to feel anything, right? Because sometimes these low points, they come with a certain sense of numbness as well, where there is no feeling, right? It's a lack of feeling anything, because we're blocking our feelings out of protection, right? This is all protective kind of things that we've been talking about here. And so it's like, allow yourself to feel joy, but sometimes, to feel any feelings, we have to feel all of them. And so if you are met with feelings of grief or loss or sadness because of where you might be, that's okay too. Meet those feelings. Allow yourself to feel all that you have to feel, because we need to feel our feelings in order to feel anything, and in order to let them not be blocked or trapped or held back, and that holds our whole self back when we hold our feelings back. Allow yourself to feel all that you need to feel in this moment, right? That's more childlike understandings. Kids don't block their feelings. They feel everything. They can't block them. They haven't learned how to do that. But as adults, we hold back our feelings all the time because, it might be an inappropriate place to share our feelings in public. And so we've learned when it is appropriate to feel our feelings and when it isn't. And oftentimes in our particular culture, I know for myself this is this way, and I know a lot of people are this way, we subconsciously have learned to tell ourselves that never is a good time to experience our feelings. And so they get locked up and they get blocked, and then, we can't feel anything, right? We feel that numbness. And I feel that numbness in this reading, that sort of nihilistic numb nothingness, right? And so it's important for you to feel even the challenging feelings, even the feelings that are scary, even the feelings that you don't want to feel. You got to feel them. You got to let yourself do that, because that's what's going to open yourself up to actual joy and happiness again as well. And being able to feel satisfaction in general, right? That's also a feeling, right? And so to get to any of those places, it's important to open yourself up and allow yourself to experience those kinds of things. So yeah, wow, this is a really powerful reading. I have to say, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited that I'm channeling this stuff. So I hope it's meaning something to you. Anyway, where this is going is ultimately the Queen of Wands and the Emperor energy. So with the Emperor is, he controls empires, right? He is at the seat of power in his reality. And the Queen of Wands, she is deeply creative and deeply, she's the head of her inspirations. She's able to channel her inspiration into action and creation. And she's a powerful creative being. She makes things happen, she gets things done, and she flows along her life from a place of happiness and experience and joy and creativity and knowingness. And so, with these two together, that's a really powerful combination. It shows that if you are able to meet your life with this curiosity, then you're able to turn into anything, right? You're able to make your life into anything. And so even if you feel like you're at a loss point right now, just know that if you allow yourself to meet life with this curiosity energy, you open yourself up to literally anything, creating any life that you choose, and it's the move from being in a closed loop, right? A brick wall, saying that you can't, to literally opening the entire world to your future, to being able to do anything, to being open to all possibility. And so to move from A to B there, it's a practice, right? It's a practice. Allowing yourself to practice this kind of thing, right? Taking the time to practice the questioning energy, to practice mindfulness, really, I think is really helpful for you. Practice watching your thoughts. I think that's the biggest thing. Realizing when it is that you are having these self-limiting beliefs. And it's a practice, right? I don't want to pretend like I am some holier than thou person in this practice here, because I still all the time have negative self-talk and self-limiting beliefs. And this message for you is as much a message for me as it is for you, right? This isn't something that I'm perfect with, but it's a practice, and I forgive myself when I go through the periods of not being able to do things, right? I forgive myself when I go through those thoughts of brick wall thinking, and I open myself up to questioning whether or not I can do something different, right? That's a part of this. Is it's not going to be perfect all the time, but once you begin to start to think in this way and to meet those thoughts from a place of curiosity, then you start to open it up and you start to change, and it's not going to be perfect right away, and maybe even ever, which is also okay, right? As long as you meet yourself with that loving kindness and you forgive yourself when you fall, you're gonna be closer to where you want to be than you are now. And that's all we can ask for in life, is moving one step at a time. That's all we get. That's a part of our existence here. So let me get to these oracle cards before I go too long in this reading. It's already almost 30 minutes. It's amazing. I love it. It's so cool. It feels so good to be in a place where I can do these kinds of readings again. I feel great about this. Huge. So there's some it's such a beautiful card too. It's too bad there's some nudity here with this pretty angel that I'm gonna see if I can block in a way that isn't too disruptive to the message. Yeah, okay, that'll work. All right. Oops. Hopefully that doesn't show. Okay. So we've got the self-acceptance card here. I love that. That's exactly where this energy is. And we've got the abundance card, which is great too. So, with the abundance energy, I think it's not just material abundance. I think in this particular reading, it's talking about the abundance of the soul, honestly, and the abundance of your own soul, and tapping into the well within. Learning how to tap into the infinite well within, the replenishing well within, because that is ultimately where you're going to change from. Because within you is a connection to an infinite source of love, of joy, of creation, of beauty, of inspiration. You know, it's learning how to tap back into your inspirational energy, because it's within you. And even if you've been through the ringer here in life, that is there still. There is something within you that is this deep, passionate, inspired being, and that it's worth tapping into that, right? It's worth becoming that. It's worth growing within your own heart and soul to experience that again. And with the self-acceptance card, I think it really is accepting who you are deeply and all of your flaws, right? We are all deeply flawed beings on this earth. No one is perfect. No one has ever been perfect, and no one will ever be perfect, because perfection is subjective. It's not real. It's a cultural understanding. It's not a truth. And so, you know, you're gonna have flaws. We all have flaws, and it's important to accept your shadow, to accept the parts of you that you don't like, and to meet yourself with loving kindness no matter what. Even if you are in a deep, dark place, even if you are experiencing some kind of substance abuse, or I'm not saying that you are, but maybe you are, right? Or anything like that, you know? Even if you are going through all of that, like the only way through those challenges is not self-shame or self-flagellation or like hating yourself or thinking that you're terrible, right? None of that will ever help you get better or change, right? The only place that you can do for yourself to get out of that kind of thing is to meet yourself with the curiosity energy, asking why, you know, especially if you have any kind of substance stuff. Why do I feel compelled to do this, right? And, you know, there's real addiction is a thing. And, you know, if that's a part of your story, right? I'm not saying that it is, but if it is, like, it is important to seek help from that as well. Like, I am not a medical practitioner of any kind. I'm not a psychologist of any kind. So, you know, if you feel like you need that kind of help, like, I seriously recommend reaching out to somebody. I've seen a therapist before in my life, and it's been incredibly helpful, and I've never really had any kind of addiction to substances or anything like that, so I don't have advice on how to do that kind of thing. But I do think, though, here that there's a little bit of that, like, the only way out of that kind of thing is to, you know, not to hate yourself, right? Like, hating yourself isn't going to make you better, but loving yourself and sending yourself love and wanting to change from a place of, you know, wanting to do better by yourself, like, that's something different, right? So accepting yourself for who you are and where you are is very important. Hey, sorry guys, that cut off, but it just cut off the very end. So I was just gonna say thanks guys for tuning in. That's it for me. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If you have, please leave a comment if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, and a huge thanks to all of my returning subscribers. I'm so thankful to have you with me on this journey, and a huge thanks to all of the new subscribers. This channel has grown so much in the last few days, and that excites me so much. I'm really excited to have this renewed energy for the channel. I'm ready to bring you a lot of really great readings, and maybe even some more kind of stuff in the future. So stick with me. We got a lot coming to Junodrome Intuitive Arts. I'm really excited. Anyway, catch you later, guys. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. What the universe needs you to know. Let's figure it out. So you chose this card here. So take a look at this card. I'm going to show it up to the camera. Do you see anything in this card? Before I tell you anything about it, you take a look. What is it that you see in this card? Is there anything that's jumping out at you? If you see something here, that might have some larger meaning to it. So take that into consideration. If there's something that you see, take note of that. So for me, personally, when I was drawing this, after I was done, I didn't even notice up until it was finished. There's like an orca whale here. Do you see that whale up in the corner jumping in? Totally did not notice that. Whoops, sorry for making the camera jump around. That's okay. I totally did not see that or anticipate it until it was there. So that's a huge part of this reading. We've got this orca whale. So the channel message, I kind of like incorporated that into this here. So let's read this. Take the leap. Trust, trust, trust. It's scary to have the whole ocean ahead of you, but you have the infinite possibility to look forward to. Take the plunge. Jump in the water. There is more to life than you've seen. There is more to this reality than you know. Don't let the day-to-day mundane get in the way of the great infinite ahead. You have the ability to change. You have the ability to grow. You have the ability to make new choices, take new steps, create new things, meet new people, see new places, contemplate new ideas. Meet the world with open curiosity. Take off the blinders and allow yourself to see in a new way. Flow in a new direction. Be in a new way. It's time to let go of the past and take a leap of faith. Jump in the water. Orca whale. All right, so let's put this off over here for now and take a look at your cards. What do we have? So yeah, a big thing in this card is like, trusting. It can be really hard to take a leap of faith, like, especially if, we know we need a change in life and we want to do something different and we want to be in a different place and have a different understanding of things, but we're really afraid to move, right? It's so easy to get locked in that pattern. But with this reading here, it's all about trusting that you are able to do new things, that you have the ability to change, and it might require you to make some shifts in your life that are uncomfortable. But if you're willing to make that move, there's so much to offer ahead of you here. So let's look at the tarot cards. I'm just going to check and make sure I can show them all, and I can. All right, so we've got the Justice, the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Ooh, yeah, super new beginnings energy, and the Death card. Yeah, okay, so triple new beginning. So I think the biggest thing going on here is this Death card, right? Death doesn't necessarily mean 100% death, right? It means the end of something, right? It means real endings, true endings to periods of your life. And with all of these aces here, it's like it's coming at the beginning of something different, something new. So, what's interesting too is we have these two cards that indicate the scales. You see the balance of justice and the scales of the Six of Pentacles. So it's interesting because I feel like in this reading, there's a real sense that you're rebalancing your life from a new place, right? I think you're coming out of a period of lack, maybe lack mentality, and now you're going to be able to be the one to give back, right? That like something has happened where it's time to really trust again. This reading is really all about trusting. Trusting other people to help you when you're down, trusting the universe that the tides can change, that you can be something different, that you can move in a different direction, trusting that you'll have the funds and the ability to move in new directions. I think that maybe you have felt a lack of trust in some aspect of your life, and so it might be difficult for you to trust in the world, right? To trust that things can even work out for you in reality, but they can. Ultimately, they can, and I think that there's a new perspective that's being offered to you in this reading here with this Ace of Swords, where you have the offer here to change the way that you think about your life and the way that you think about yourself, and the way that you think about what it is you even want here. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning towards your passions, towards inspired energy, right? Taking inspired action. I think that I think that there's a change in the way that you view reality here. And if you allow yourself to change the way that you think about things, I think that you have the opportunity to maybe even feel inspired again at all, you know? With this death card, I do think that there is an ending here. And what's ending is the idea that you are not enough, you know, that you don't have enough, that you can't be enough. And that life is just going to keep throwing you downs, right? I mean, what's interesting is that we don't really have the ability to control what happens to us in life, you know, that there will always be situations that happen in life that we don't want, right? There'll always be something going on that we might not feel good about in a certain sense, right? That like life isn't just wonderful things. Life is everything. And so it can get really easy. It can be really easy to get locked up in feeling as though the things that have happened to us in the past, you know, stop us from being able to move forward. And we can take difficult situations that we may have been through and use them to block us off from taking new steps. But ultimately, you don't have to be controlled by your past anymore. You don't have to be controlled by the things that have occurred in life that you might not be happy about or happy with. Ultimately, you have the ability to move in whatever direction you need for yourself. There's something challenging about this reading. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm running into some kind of challenge here. So let's put these cards aside. There's definitely a new beginning energy here, and I do think it's coming from a new balance, of balancing the way that you view your life and you view yourself. I want more cards. There's some other message going on. Why am I having trouble? Okay. All right. Okay. We'll use all these. I won't use. Maybe we'll use this one in the end. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You get the Tower as well, definitely, and with the Wheel of Fortune together. I do think there's a big turning point happening in your life right now. You're in the middle of this turning point. With the Magician card, you know, it really is reminding you that you are in the driver's seat here, that you have the power and the ability to make your life whatever you need. You can change your life whenever you need to. So if something doesn't feel like it's working out, or you know, you wish that you were somewhere else, or you wish that life could be different for you, it 100% can. But it's going to take a shift in the mindset and cutting away things that are no longer working. I think that's where you're at, you know. Something about the way that your life is situated right now, or has been in the past, is out of balance, I think. And so the universe is kind of coming in with this new energy, whether you like it or not. You know, with the Tower here, like this new beginning is coming whether you like it or not. But that doesn't have to be as ominous as it sounds. So I don't necessarily mean it in an ominous way. In reality, like, here, I'll put it in, this card came out too. We have the sun, right? So the sun is like a bright, beautiful new day. Like, this is not ominous energy. If anything, we're breaking out of the ominous energy. Like, that there's been some kind of like stuck, not so great feeling energy that you've been in, and the world is coming to give you justice, right? Maybe feeling justice over a situation where you felt wronged in the past, that there is some kind of justice coming to you for a difficult situation from your past, that you are gaining justice from some kind of thing or situation or difficulty that you've experienced in life, and there's something coming to give you a sense of feeling more in control about what's going on, feeling more like you have possibility again. But like I said, that has to come from a shift in mindset. That's the most important thing about this reading, is there needs to be a shift in the way that you think in order for you to move into a change. But the universe is going to give you a new reality here, whether you like it or not. With the Tower card, the Tower comes in from the outside, and the Death, both of these are change cards. They're both the endings of something and the beginnings of something new. The Death card is all about changing. It's like an internal transformation, completely changing you on the inside, whereas the Tower card is an external transformation. It's on the outside. So it's like you have both of these transformations here. It might come though from you having to change something about your world around you. Maybe the people that you're surrounding yourself with, the job that you're in, the situation that you're in, something needs to move here. And I think that you're at the point where you know you need to make these changes. So this shouldn't come as a surprise if you're getting this reading, that there is some sort of situation that needs changing. But if you embrace that change and wholeheartedly accept that life is what it is right now for you, that you can move in any direction that you want for yourself, that life can be something different, with that take the plunge energy here too. I think you have something that you know in your heart you want to be doing. There's something deep down that you want, and you're afraid to make that move. I think that's happening. And the universe is kind of like, with the Wheel of Fortune too, that can talk about the wheel of change sometimes too. But there's something fortunate coming in to make that change easier for you, right? Maybe with the Tower card, something in your life is going to move in a way where that change, it becomes much more obvious, and like if something happens in your external world that allows that change to be much easier for you. I think that maybe that kind of thing is happening for you, but there's this embrace in a new time, and a new modality, a new way of being, that you're being encouraged to take here, and encouraged to take that kind of jump, right? A jump into something new. So I think you know what the jump is. I think you know where this shift is, and so it's just a matter of you allowing yourself to make the moves you know you need to make. Let's look at the oracles. Yeah, I can show this. Okay, we've got the Friendship card. That's interesting. We've got self-love, and we've got changes. Changes is huge for you. Changes. Change is the nature of reality, right? I think it's important to remember that nothing in life stays the same. Oh, you know what? We've got plenty of room here. I can put these over here. Nothing in life stays the same, and that can be a hard reality to accept sometimes, but it's the truth, right? That whether you like it or not, things are going to shift. Things are going to change. That life is going to move you in a new direction, right? Whether you want it or not. And so that's the Tower card, right? So it's up to you to embrace the change that's happening anyway, and not get too set on where you are, right? And I think that can help you. With that card, the channeled message on that was breaking out of the mundane, and I think that the change is coming in here to meet you in a positive direction, to help you move into something different. That any place that you've been stuck in, you're being given the opportunity to move in a different way, to become something different, to feel something different. Now, with that self-love card, I think it's going to come from a place of changing the way that you feel about yourself, ultimately, the way that you think about yourself. With that Ace of Swords, I think that's going to be huge here. Forgiving yourself for maybe being somewhere you don't want to be, or, going through things that you didn't want, or putting yourself through situations that weren't good for you, ultimately. That's a part of being alive, doing those types of things. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself about those types of things. If you're ending up in a situation where you feel like you're, putting yourself through those kinds of challenges, you can embrace, if you embrace these feelings of self-love more. And I think you become your own friend here with that Friendship card, becoming your own friend. There's a lot of musical instruments in this card, so I don't know if music means something to you, but if it does, there's a message about music for somebody here. But anyway, with the self-love card, embracing yourself, truly being open to loving yourself no matter what, that is going to help you feel more okay about your life in general, about life, about being alive. Feel more okay about going through situations that aren't always the best, right? And being open to changing where you are. If you feel stuck, you have the ability to change that, and even if you feel like you've made decisions that have put you in a stuck position, haranguing yourself for that's not going to help you change that. It's just being open to moving and having new perspectives. That's where you start to make those shifts, is by perceiving things in a new and different way. And so if you allow yourself to do that, I see real shifts here. And with the friendship card, maybe this isn't a solo journey either, right? That maybe a part of this change is surrounding yourself with like-minded community, or in this sense, since you're trying to change your perspective, surrounding yourself with community of people who view things in the way that you wish you could view things, right? Who view things in a more positive light. Maybe seeking out individuals who are where you want to be, or seeking out individuals who are further along in their journey towards self-discovery than you are, might help you. Surrounding yourself with people who are more heart-centered. And maybe, with that Queen of Swords, I do feel that maybe it's shifting away from certain people who aren't really your friends, right? People who might have done you wrong, and with the Justice card too, and those scales, maybe a part of where you've been feeling stuck or you've been feeling blocked from this is distrust in other people, distrusting in humanity, based on situations that you've been in, But it's important to remember, what's interesting, this is something that I've been through myself and had to learn, is that, there's always going to be two different groups of people, and it's kind of a simplistic way to look at things. So it's not always this simple, but ultimately I feel like there are two kinds of people for you in the world. There are those who are going to put you down, and then there are those who are going to lift you up, or even just, be positive for you. So why focus on the people who don't like you, or the people who don't like who you truly are? Maybe you have some people-pleasing energy going on here, and you've put up a face to try to get people to accept you and like you, but you don't like that face because it doesn't really represent who you are. You could be in one of those types of situations. And so, if you are who you are and embrace who you are fully and be fully in yourself and in your being, you attract like-minded people. You make friends with people who fit you, for you. And yeah, maybe it would hurt because you're losing some other people, but if those people wouldn't accept you for being yourself, then why do you want those people in your life? Why do you want people and friends in your life who are going to just put you down for the things that you love and the person that you are, right? Those aren't real friends. So I think that there's a shift in your community here, and there's a shift in the way that you view yourself, and there's a shift in your mindset in general, that's really going to help you change out of this. Maybe it's just the community and the people that you surround yourself with are not as conducive to a positive environment for yourself than you could make. And that I'm not saying you need to leave everybody and totally change your life here. Definitely not saying that. What I'm saying is that, like, there might be a way for you to find some new people, or focus on the people who are currently in your life who lift you up, and focus a little bit less on the people who bring you down, right? Because there's always going to be somebody trying to push you down, and there's always going to be somebody trying to bring you up. That's just kind of the nature of the world. And so it's up to you to focus on whoever you want. And it's much easier in the way that our minds work. It's just so easy to focus on the negative, right? That's just the basic thing that we do. We try to focus on what's not working to fix things. That's a part of our pattern seeking brain structure, right? So don't be too hard on yourself for feeling those things. It's just that you have the ability to shift your thinking here. And it just takes conscious thought, and being mindful. Mindfulness practice can be pretty helpful, so feel free to look into any kind of mindfulness techniques. But by learning how to look at your thoughts a little bit more and view your thoughts and don't just accept all thoughts uncritically. If something, if you're putting yourself down, challenge those thoughts. That's a lot about pile 2. So I don't know if any of that kind of thing resonates with you. You might want to check out pile 2 as well. But yeah, I think that, if you allow yourself to kind of change your perspective on things a little bit and take a jump towards something that you truly want, maybe you'll find more community in that as well. That maybe by taking this plunge into a change, you'll start surrounding yourself with community that you need, and maybe you'll feel less alone. If you're feeling lonely, maybe that shift comes from changing your perspective on other people, being a little bit less afraid of people, because like I said, there's always going to be people who aren't great, but there'll always be people who you really work well with, and it's worth seeking those out. It's worth having friendships. It's worth having connections. And some friendships challenge us a little bit too, and that's okay as well, right? That we're all different. We're all doing something different. So trying to find a good community for yourself, I think, could help you. Anyway, pile number 3, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that resonated. I hope that you liked that reading. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love hearing from everybody. A huge shout out to all of my returning viewers. I love you guys. I'm glad that you're here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please do subscribe. It really helps everything out. And thank you to all the new subscribers. We've had the channel has had about like 30 new subscribers in the last 10 days or so. And that is so mind-blowing and so wonderful. So I just want to thank everybody for joining this community. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.